Holy cannoli! I need to go to a bar because HBAR is at 17 cents right now. Am I wrong? Am I freaking out? Am I selling everything? Am I going to my local Taco Bell and putting in my job application? There are several things that I just said were possibly true, but yes, HBAR is at 17 cents today at rank 22. Is it even possible for this cryptocurrency to go back to $1 or ever to reach the dollar mark? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. My friends, HBAR has been on a turbulent ride, to say the least. This is a cryptocurrency that at one point was about to touch the top 10, and also cryptocurrency that at one point was about to leave the top 100. And all that happened over the span of 2 years. A lot has changed for HBAR. The narrative has changed for HBAR. But one thing, which is a friendly welcome, has come to the HBAR community. And that, my friends, is this right here. It's the HBAR ETF. It is an ETF that is accumulating HBAR and is trading HBAR on the NASDAQ. That is an exciting thing because as I talk to all of my crypto friends and I tell them, what in the world is Bitcoin? They tell me, oh, it's a commodity, it's blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, my friends, it's practically a tech stock because if you're investing into technology, it's going to be in crypto. It's going to be in crypto. And that's what Bitcoin is. And so what I tell them is the same thing. If it's on the NASDAQ, if it's on the place that's getting all the gains right now, technology, my friends, is the future. It's the thing that everybody's parking their money into. You gotta be on the NASDAQ. You gotta be on there. And if you're not on the NASDAQ, you're not getting the money for long-term growth. Unfortunately, that is the truth, and that is the state of the crypto market in 2025. If your cryptocurrency is not on the NASDAQ, it doesn't have an ETF, unfortunately, you're playing in a pool of very small fish. And these fish are running out of steam. They've gone down the pond enough times, and enough of them have been eaten by the bears. The bears have been feasting on these small fish. And so we need to have a place to go to a bigger pond. We cannot stay in that same one because all that's happening is there's less and less fish to buy our coins. We need them to buy our coins because fish love eating coins, right? Well, in this world, they like eating coins. And so from my perspective, here's my honest truth. And this is no BS. This is just honest truth. There's no guarantee in this life for anything. There's no guarantee in this life for anything. However, if I had to place my eggs in a basket, I would put them, and that's what I'm doing with my money, I would put them in a basket of places that have already been listed on the NASDAQ on that bigger pond, because I don't want to be going around guessing if this or that is going to eventually get into this place. I want to just go to where the noise already is. And the noise right now has got to be on HBAR. HBAR has been listed in its, check this out, 14th ETF application. 14 ETF applications, and people are telling me, yeah, guys, there's no way that any more institutions are going to buy this. 14, I mean, no joke, 14 ETF applications, and people out there are telling me in the comment section, yeah, there's no way that institutions are going to keep buying our bags. 14 ETF applications. I don't even need to BS it. Check it for yourself if you want to. They're on everything you can think of right now. And the most exciting one, of course, has got to be Grayscale's Ideritrust that's coming up. Their deadline's coming up very, very, very soon. The Rex Osprey HBAR ETF. We know about the Rex Osprey XRP ETF. That's the thing. And of course, like I said, already on the NASDAQ, Canary Capital Group LLX Canary HBAR ETF. And this ETF is holding right now, as it stands, a whopping 0.77% of the max HBAR supply, or 387 million tokens. Is that the biggest number of coins in the world? Is that going to be the thing that gets you to $1? No, it's not. It's unfortunately, as we see the current HBAR price, it's not going to get us to $1. However, given enough of these guys and given enough opportunities to get more liquidity from institutions, that heightens the likelihood of, when these altcoins begin to run, a massive surge in the price of any coin that is listed on the NASDAQ. And so the big narrative for HBAR moving forward has got to be that those ETFs allow HBAR a very unique position to be able to actually tap into liquidity from the big players. The big players are now able to get into HBAR. And they're not able to get into stuff like, I don't know, IOTA or Pith Network, or I don't know, let's keep scrolling here. Quant, unfortunately, they don't got an ETF. You know, all these coins over here, they just don't have ETFs, all of them. So they don't have the liquidity to actually pump to tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions. Only the coins with the connections to actually get into these places have the liquidity. And unfortunately, my friends, that's where this cycle is going. If you are betting on a cryptocurrency that is not going to get into these places, into these bigger ponds, you are either a lunatic, like me. I'm doing that to a lesser extent these days. I'm allocating a lot more of my capital into the safer stuff that's already winning. But, you know, there was a time where I threw my money into 50 different angel rounds, and it was this whole thing. Threw so much money into stuff. But you're either a lunatic or you just know something we don't. Because at this point in the cycle, you got to know if your player was a winner. It's been enough time. These cryptos have had way more than enough time to prove themselves. If they still haven't had their run to any extent, just throw them in the bin. There's no way they're coming back. I am rotating a lot of my altcoins down here on these lists, up here. The ones that have already proven themselves, because they're the ones that still have the potential to go up 10x. HBAR absolutely has the potential to get institutional capital and run up easily to $1. We saw it. I mean, we didn't have to guess. We've seen this run already. The run has already shown itself. This coin was at 4 cents. Don't forget that. It was at 4 cents not that long ago. So at 17 cents, it's still doing really well. And for the guys that bought at 30, 40, 50 cents, I mean, guys, that's the name of the game. You're going to buy top sometimes. I remember I bought the local top on XRP many years ago, and I was able to, I mean, I'm still in heavy profit, in very heavy profit. So it just depends on your perspective. If you have a crypto that still has liquidity coming into it, you're in a good spot. Because the fact is, Trump's going to be doing some crazy stuff. Doesn't matter where you lean. He's doing some crazy stuff right now. Throwing money all over the place, going to war with this guy. Just a lot of political stuff going on. And, you know, I understand the importance of it, but we're crypto traders. We only care about what happens to the crypto price. And at least in this video, right? Of course, we care about more things in life. But when it comes to crypto, all we care about is whether or not people are going to be running away to buy new technology, which they are, of course. That's where the markets are, and that's why Bitcoin's at $103,000. But even more importantly for alts, we want to see a rotation of capital after the gains are made. We saw that with Ethereum. We saw that briefly with XRP. I think now that these HBAR ETFs are live, that is going to create an opportunity for when this next run happens, if it happens, which I think is very likely to happen, that HBAR has a big run and you're able to make gains. But I will say it's much safer to hold other coins, way safer to hold other coins. Does that mean that I'm not going to hold HBAR? Heck no. I understand the risk that I'm taking by holding HBAR. I've known it since I bought it at 4 cents. I remember when I bought it, no one cared about HBAR. No one cared about HBAR. And I know like there are people in the comments that are like, I've been holding too since 4 cents. And there's this entire army of people that have been holding since 4 cents. We're very much believers. And I get that. But I'm talking from the institutional side, the mainstream side. HBAR was not a mainstream coin until pretty recently. It became a lot more mainstream to talk about HBAR. For the longest time, I mean, when HBAR was at rank 60, a lot of people were just dumbfounded as to why in the world I would talk about this coin, but it was because of the connections. It's because of this kind of stuff. It gets into the NASDAQ. It gets into the big players' wallets. That's what you want to see. You want to see more coins get on there, and as long as a coin is being supported by a big player, then that means that coin has the potential to moonshot over a long enough time frame. If it doesn't have enough backing, then it's just not going to get legs because the pond that they're fishing in is just so much smaller. We have, as an industry, changed our lens. We are no longer an industry of pure decentralization, Wagami Satoshi's vision. We are now an industry that has been corrupt by the big players. And it sucks. It really sucks as a crypto content creator because I want to tell people that the original Bitcoin vision is still here. But guys, the institutions have taken over. And they're the only reason that Bitcoin's even alive right now. They're pushing this thing. So if we aren't with the institutions, we're not going to win. And it really sucks to say, but that's kind of the game we're playing right now. They're going to be switching to new tech that's more efficient, that's better. And as long as they have their hands in the pie, that crypto can do very well. So that's why I think a narrative case for HBAR to $1 still very much makes sense. Now, something I want to say is that this time around, and I know people are going to like bag on me in the comments about this, but I am changing when I'm going to be taking profit on my HBAR, just straight up, being very honest here. I'm going to be taking a good amount at the next all-time high. Straight up, when this thing hits all-time highs, I'm going to be taking my principal out. I'm absolutely taking my principal out. And I feel like we're just too close to the end of this cycle, potentially, for everybody to just wait until this thing goes to $10. If HBAR goes to $10, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I mean, I love that for everybody, including me. I mean, that'd be great for my wallet. I would be probably making videos with a different background. You see a Lamborghini in the background. but my friends, like, we are in a state of, I don't know. Nobody knows. And anybody that pretends to know is lying to you. What we do know is that we have the potential. We have the opportunity that many other cryptocurrencies don't have. We're in the big basket. We're in the big pond. And I want to take my initials out. I want to take my risk out. I don't want to have any more risk in the crypto market. We already have enough risk as it stands holding these cryptos. We should take our principles out. We shouldn't have to worry about these things. And we should absolutely, or at least I am, going to be leaving a good portion of HBAR to be able to capitalize on future returns. And that's it. That's going to be the game for me. I want to get to a point where I don't need to look at this chart unless I'm covering it on YouTube video. I want to be able to get to that point. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And I implore that everybody reassess where they are in this cycle, where they bought their coins, what they're thinking of doing, because situations change. The game has changed a lot since 4 years ago. The game is not the same. This world that we currently live in crypto is very different. And every time I explain to family members, oh, what should I get into? I mean, that changes every 5 seconds. We know about that in crypto. The narrative is always shifting. What I've been telling them lately is, if a crypto survived this long and it's in the bigger pond, it's got a lot more potential to actually do well. Now, am I buying more Bitcoin than I am HBAR at this point? Yeah. I mean, I'm honest as can be. I am buying more Bitcoin than I am HBAR. But I still have my eggs in the basket that I feel like makes the most sense. So that's where I'm at in terms of HBAR. And I implore everyone that watches YouTube videos on these like influencers or whatever we call ourselves, it's kind of cringe. I would just say I'm a guy that makes videos on the internet and just happens to have made money in crypto, is that if people are making these ludicrous price predictions, put them down a notch. If a guy says he goes to the gym 5-7 days a week, put it down a couple days. Maybe he actually goes 3-4 days consistently. That's fine. People can be honest with their predictions. People can be honest with where they're buying stuff and why they're buying things. And the reason that I'm holding HBAR today is it's similar to why I held HBAR before. A little bit. I mean, I held it because Fortune 500 companies were inside of this council that validated the chain. And HBAR was unique. They had hashgraph technology. But I don't really care about the tech because the tech is nice and all. But if people don't use the tech, it's not going to matter. Unfortunately, that's just how the world works. It's all about marketing. And the marketing that HBAR has is that they had these Fortune 500 companies, which they still have them in their council, and they're able to, as one of the few cryptocurrencies that weren't flagged as a security, get into places a lot easier than others. And as you can see, given the fact that they got a spot ETF before a lot of the other big players, clearly HBAR is in a good spot. So that's my answer on whether or not it can still happen. I absolutely think it can still happen. I'm not delusional, and I don't want to push anything that doesn't make any sense to people. I want to push reality to people. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Stay classy. And that's all.